All right, so we're talking about debt because in real estate you will have debt, period. And so, but we had another conversation. This is pertaining to how to become debt free. So then you don't have the stress of your personal debt. You'll only have your business, hopefully not in debt, but in the beginning, sometimes that's what happens. You know, you're going to have it. So the way I look at it, remember I told you about the goals, Matthew, what we're talking about, there's three aspects to go from active income to passive income. You remember that conversation, Matthew? Okay, what was the first one?
Debt free.
Yep. So debt free, what was the second one? You can look at your notes if you have to. So basically, whenever you become reserves, yep. How much is the reserves?
1.5 years.
Yeah, I go by 1.5 years. That means just whatever your living expenses are to live, that you at least got 1.5 years in reserves, just in case COVID 2020 hits, you're good to go, right? So this is the roadmap to start your passive journey, but do it with integrity. Because if you do it too early, and then you don't have these things, then your passive is going to come over to active. Period. That's just the way it works. Because then you didn't set up properly. But it kind of forces you to be very disciplined to start doing this side. But the discipline is only going to help you because you need that discipline to transfer over to passive. Right? So you have to have high active to go to passive. It's not start with passive and then go to active. Because if something in your life happens, you're screwed and you have to sell a passive to do active. Ask me how I know that. I had the same shit. When I was in the military, I was debt free. I had 1.5 year reserve. And then I was building up cash. And then the factor that was the unknown for me, and I'm not blaming this at all, just FYI, like there's nothing wrong with this, is I got married. And when I got married, I didn't understand the expenses behind it. $12,000 marriage, $12,000 wedding. For me, it was a shitload of money because I was only making $13,000 a year when I first joined the military. My end, I was making more, but still. And then expenses just went high. She had a kid who is my child, and still mine, 23 years old now. He was 3 at the time. So for me, that was my child. So I put him in private schools, put him in everything. So I started depleting my reserves for this life. By choice. I just want to give you, like anybody watching this is by choice. So by choice. So this is the route that I decided to go. And this was just what I call the X factor. That's all it is, right? Now, I'm single again by choice. And so now I'm doing this all over again. Now, have I made amazing revenue? Yes. Has it went other places because this is the field I chose to be in? Yes. There's very high education. Just like I told you the $500,000 lesson. Well, I had to make $500,000 to learn that lesson. Right? It's just like millions of dollars I've spent. That really is a booklet that cost me for real $5 million for real. That's not like a tagline. But I had to make $5 million to get that book. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I think I can talk about this pretty well because I've been through all the stages. So that's why I say number one, if you don't have this written down, write it. And understand that you will probably have an X factor. But your goal is to get these before you get the passive. Now let's talk about a little bit more of the debt free. How do you become debt free? First thing is you need to basically index all your expenses right now. Do you already have that down? Do you have it all down or no?
Have what written down?
All your expenses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Then you have your income. So then you have your income over here. But then you're also in debt for $90K. Okay. So now, if you're in debt and you want to get out of debt, That's what my question is. What are you willing to transform now to get out of it?
I just need to do it. I make the money to do it.
Okay.
I literally do.
So how would you do it? That's what I'm getting at.
So I am just going to start with my lowest hanging fruit.
Okay.
Pay all that stuff off.
So consider probably, like, are you tired of being the same way? Are you just tired of like the same old, same old?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So for me, consider then it's a complete transformation if you're tired of it. So for example, it could be like what you just said yesterday. I went out to eat. That cost me $100 and time and effort. How many times does that happen a month?
For me, a lot.
Yeah.
For me, a good probably 5-6 times a month.
A month? Okay, so more like 8. All right, so 8 times. All right, so now you got this. So times that by 12, how much is it?
So times 10 is 8,000. Let's see. I'm not good with math in my head.
You should. What are you talking about? 8 times 10, that's 8,000, then times 2. That's
Yes.
how much?
So 800 times 12 is 9,600.
So basically 10 grand.
Yeah.
That's not including taking this, probably there's more times that's more than 100.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a chunk.
Yeah.
That's just on shit.
I'm bored,
No. Literally shit. I'm not even talking about bullshit I'm literally talking about it. That's what people forget about food. It's like sometimes to me, I'm just like, okay, what? Like I know anatomy. It's like I was with somebody who was a doctor for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, it's literally shit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go over here and spend $200-$300 or $100 or whatever for what? Your body's just fuel and that's it. Don't get it twisted. Can you go out? Can you go with I'm not saying don't. I didn't say that. But if you got a goal, what's more important? The goal, or you could just say, back in the day when I was growing up and when you were growing up too, do you remember this, that I used to love this? Matthew, you probably don't ever remember this, but people used to come over their house and people used to eat together. And it was great. It was amazing. So it was one of those things that you're just like, wow, this is truly great. You used to be excited when you used to hear the door knock. You're like, oh man, what's going on? How you doing? Now you're just like, who is it? Who's at my house? What is going on? Blah, blah, blah. I still do that. I say, hey, why don't you come over? We have a conversation. I don't do lunches. I don't do coffee. I was like, if you want to have coffee with me, it's real simple. Bring me coffee at the office. That's it. I like caramel macchiato, almond milk. That's all I like. I don't mind having a conversation, but you're going to watch me work. You see what I mean? So the other thing is consider starting the discipline at the house so then it translates somewhere else. Make sense? And you got to feel good about yourself. So it starts with your physical self and it translates to other things. So it could be one, all right, so if you've got the food aspect of it, what are you committed to?
Well, committed to not going out and eating.
So what do you, if you do that, what is the repercussion? What do you have on the line?
Well, just not making my situation better.
Okay, so that's not enough on the line. Because obviously you've been having that shit for a while and it hasn't worked.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So what I mean is on the line, Chad, would be, for example, like, if I say Chad, all right, Chad, I don't know. Look, you need to pay attention. If I catch you not paying attention or touching your phone again, you're going to leave. That's something on the line. So now you know you're gone if you do it again. That's just the rule. Now, you could take that rule serious or you could think I'm playing. But sometimes you have to do that to yourself. For me, because I saw firsthand, I saw my grandmother and my grandfather in 2 different families, both in wheelchairs. So for me, it was very real that if you don't take care of your body, I could end up in a wheelchair. And then I could have somebody else who's a grown-ass person give up their whole life to take care of this person because this person doesn't want to take care of themselves. Now, I love my grandparents. It's just, I'm getting it as like, then they let themselves go. Once you let yourself go, it's harder on your knees, it's harder on your muscles, it's harder on your body. Everything starts breaking down when you let yourself go. Eventually, it will happen. And then now you got to fall back on somebody else to take care of you because you can't move. Now you got diabetes, now you got this. I'm just talking about my own family, just FYI. Like, that's what happened. And I felt horrible for both sides of my grandparents that were healthy. Because guess what? They had to take care of the ones that were sick. And the only reason why they were sick is because they let themselves go. It wasn't even, my grandfather broke his back, got it. But then his back did get better. So he could have been a lot more active and move and everything. It was his choice not to. My grandmother, she just chose not to do anything. And she just let herself go and then constantly were sick. And then she was in a wheelchair because of that. And then diabetes, and then no lie. If we ever traveled, Matthew, her suitcase, she had a suitcase of medication. A full suitcase of medication. Like, she was a pharmacist for real, right? And she had drawers full of medication. So then you have to kind of choose, like, how do you want to play this? Now, how does this fall back into real estate is because you're going to have deals like this sometimes too. That you have to be very disciplined on what am I going to spend, and I need to find out exactly what the cost is. Make sense? So in the real estate, you got to find out what are my hard costs, and I got to do my best to drive down my soft costs, or I need to find out my soft costs and do everything I can because the goal is profitability. Matthew, is that right? That's the goal. Profit? Is it not? Hard cost, soft cost. Goal, lower your soft costs, have a hard cost, and just make sure the value is more than what you're going to sell it for. There's more value. But guess what? In your personal life, there's no different. Hard costs, hard expensive. Soft cost is, I'm going to go out to eat. Soft cost is something came up. You just got to mitigate the soft costs, right? But no matter what, treat your bills like you just said. No matter what, I always pay my bills.
Oh yeah, I do that.
The only thing is now we got it. So you got 90 grand of credit card payment or what?
Some of it is credit card. A lot of it is credit card.
Okay, so write this down.
Yeah, a lot of
None of them you're late with, are you?
Oh no.
Okay, so call them up and you can make a request so it doesn't mess up your credit. Say, look, I need to request a lower APR. I'm going through something financially. I'm going to make payments, but I need to request a lower payment. Lower interest, not lower principal. Then you need to create more money to pay this off.
Yeah.
And you need to put something on the line. Meaning, it could be, hey, I'm going to write this person a check for $3,000. And if I don't do my word, they can cash it.
Yeah.
It's got to be something on the line that you feel it. Because if not, you ain't going to feel it. You're just going to keep on riding. Is this making sense?
It does.
So this is just a way that I have learned how to get debt free. And I've been in debt before, you know. Now real estate debt is totally different from personal debt.
Yeah.
I've been in both. And I understand. But to me, again, I understand how to be resourceful. Because guess what? If you learn how to be resourceful, and write this down, resourceful, your goal is to become a master at being resourceful. To figure out how to get this paid earlier rather than later, because guess where that transitions to? Business.
Yeah, I have
Hopefully this is helping, that you could use this at home too. All right, we're good.